Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
My name is Sandy Ruhlin, and I work at the Morrisville store.
Hi, my name is Marlin Ross.
My name is Mayra Hernandez.
I am an expert now. So for years, I have been working on my expert. This is the first year I've made it, and a lot of teammates have helped me get there.
My name is Leah Hayes.
Now my title is Sales Manager Expert. I oversee the VIP program at the Durham store.
My name is Ebony Harrison.
So my best year was 2021, and I finished at 2.1 million.
My title is HFE, Home Furnishing Expert. This is my first year being an expert.
So my full title is a Sales Manager Expert of VIP.
I'm a Cary Crusher, so in Cary, North Carolina.
So I have been a memory maker since January of 2017.
I've been at the river since March 2023.
I've worked at the river since January 2020.
So I've been at the river since April of 2018.
I've been at the river since April 2022.
By just being myself, just genuinely being myself has allowed me to connect with my customers, even more with myself and my colleagues too.
So my word of the year was actually present, because I like to take my work home and vice versa. So I think that connecting and my word of the year, it almost like connected, if you will, in the same way.
So I feel like I've connected more just because we've made that word a focus. So when you make something a focus, you want to dial in on it and really accomplish that mission.
If I'm at work, be at work, love the one you're with. I'm home, separate my home life, my work life.
I think that I've connected mostly with my team and within my store by going out of my way to learn what's important to them.
Being able to have that word, I've connected more with my family, I've connected more with my team, with my guests. It's shown in the numbers. So Connect has really meant a lot to me.
Knowing what's important in them helps me to work with the people that I work with better. Also applying that same thing to customers. So connecting with them, getting to know who they really are outside of why they're here.
2024. Well, connection is huge with working with customers, and I believe that's helped me a lot with becoming an expert. So sleep is where I have lacked many, many years, and I've sold furniture for a long time now. And so connecting with my guests, trying to get more into their needs, their sleep needs, have helped a lot this year. Well, I like these 3 months because it's headed into the big sales going on. Just keep doing what I'm doing and trying to keep my expert level. So I am more in tune with selling sleep and working on getting people back to the mattress gallery.
My plan is to continue to do what I'm doing.
I plan to take some of the tidbits that I actually learned from watching Jamar and Holly, and just really the verbiage. It's all about the words and how we say things, and really just take that and use it to my advantage in helping our guests.
I guess turn it up a notch, right? So, we're connecting with ourselves and with other people, but just kind of going that extra mile to just connect more.
Everything we have to offer for the guest is for their benefit, and just making sure to connect it in some way to their life. I feel like that's going to benefit my overall just sales for the rest of the year.
Well, one thing that I've implemented this year with Connect is I want to focus more on our process. So I want to really nail the metrics, really influence my revenue through metrics and not just the transactional.
So I took a page out of, I think, our Expert RX. So my plan for connecting this year was doing a lot of those things we talked about, like sending out birthday cards, sending out thank you cards, calling people when I know that they have big stuff. So you're closing on your house, maybe you didn't buy, but let me call you and tell you congratulations. So just trying to keep that connection there so that when they are ready, if they didn't already, they know who they're coming to.
So I have an expert, Dan, who is in my store, and it's funny because he always says, sleep's my passion. Well, furniture is my passion and sleep really isn't. But I see how he works and bringing it up every time he meets a guest. And it's made a huge impact on me as well, listening to him. And you just have to bring it up, you know, and because a lot of times people walk in our store and don't know that we have mattresses. And once you bring it up, it can start a whole new interest in, you know, what they're looking for, what they need.
So one of the new ways that I have tried to connect with my fellow memory makers has been through communication. That's been the best way.
So this year I've definitely been connecting. My coworkers love stuff. And I know everyone's love languages, so I go out of their way for their birthdays or new babies, new apartments, new houses. And I try to just make it really thoughtful and meaningful. So I'm not just buying the same person the same thing. It's something that's specific to them.
I've been connecting more just by asking more personal questions. So with my team, really, it's not surface level anymore. Like I can tell you about their family, I can tell you about what's going on in their life. With the guest, it's the same way. So with that C4 process, you're really being invested in them and connecting with them more at the very beginning.
I would say, so my fellow memory makers, so we've had Taylor, who's newer to the team, and we've had Danny, who will be up on his year. And I feel like coming into a location like Cary, it can be a little bit intimidating when you're new because we have so many experts, but just really just showing them that like, we're a team, we're working together, like what you need from me, you know, get me, I wanna help you.
You know, I watch the KPIs and I see what's happening and I'll look and I'll say, okay, well, so like one memory maker, I'll text her and I'll say, you're like 4K away from hitting the sleep bonus. Let's make it happen, right? So just small things like that.
My background's psychology, so I think that the more we know about the people that are around us, the better we're able to work together as a team, and knowing the strengths and the weaknesses, what makes them happy, what makes them feel good when they're there. When you feel good at work, you're gonna pass that energy to your guests and your clients, and I just wanna be a part of that.
Yeah, I do have a cute one that just happened to me. I had an older gentleman come in from New York. He's been here for a while, and his family was buying him a new house because they had a house fire. And we were talking, just a sweet old man, reminded me of my husband's father, and you know, just slow to walk around. He had a budget, we knew what we were, but it was just a connection that we had a great connection. He's like, I'll come back and find you when I'm ready. So he comes back in, purchases, and have a great connection with them, follow up with them, and then I get this text from a girl that I work out with, and she goes, yeah, you helped my father-in-law with some furniture. And she said it was so funny, I told him when you go in there, ask for Sandy, because she knows me and I've sold her furniture. And he's like, oh, no, I found somebody that I work with there and I really like her, so I'm gonna stick with her. And it ended up being me.
You know, we have a lot of repeat guests that come in, and this year I have met a wonderful family, and she has brought in her parents, she has brought in her grandparents, she has brought in her sister, her brother. So it's been great getting to know that family.
Yeah, so it was very cute. She's like, thank you for helping him, and he was so happy with, you know, his furniture that he purchased and everything. So it was just kind of funny. It was like a circle.
My favorite connect story this year has truly been with my team. Just being able to connect with them to build their trust. That's been the biggest thing for me, especially having a new team and a growing team. Get them to trust me and get them to see that I know what I'm doing.
Okay, so I had a guest who came in when she was 8 months pregnant, and she was in a tizzy. I need furniture, I need this, and she was so anxious. And I just slowed her down, tell me what you need. And I had to just take a break from trying to sell her to just be her friend. Her furniture actually ended up getting delayed. Her baby came early. And because I was texting her, because I was keeping up with her, she was always okay. But I personally delivered, and I asked permission first, a baby gift to her. So the fact that her furniture took another 2 weeks, she was fine with. She had at least a gift out of it and an apology. But that's probably been my most memorable and the connection I've made this year.
So one story in particular, I have a new salesperson here in the store now, and I had to be able to get them to see that I knew what I was doing. So she would come to me and she would ask me questions. And one time during the TO, I think once I added on the diamond care, she saw that I knew what I was doing. And from that point forward, something triggered, and it's like now she trusts me.
Oh, just even outside of our store. So, I mean, when everyone has their million, I'll send them an email. I don't know everyone's number, but I'll send them an email, or I'll see that someone passed me in something and I'm like, oh, good job, I gotta keep up. So no matter who it is, what store, what region, if I see something on our currents, which I love, I try to do what I can to reach out to that person, whether it be an email, sometimes, because I'm there with Leah Hayes, who knows everybody, I'll just get their number and shoot them a text. Just congrats, you're doing a good job.
So the way that I like to show appreciation to other memory makers' contribution, like I say, is really just reach out, right? So just sending that text, sending that call, and a simple thank you just goes a long way.
Marlin over at Durham, he always texts me these really positive clips in the morning. So I look at his numbers for him and he looks at them for me, and we just keep each other going. But the same thing with a lot of people at a lot of other stores, just pouring into them as much as I can.
There's Sammy, who I've worked with, and she struggled a little bit at the beginning, and I just feel like, she's my children's age, so I kind of take the motherly role and help her and just give her confidence about what your ability is to do. And when you get older, you have a little bit more wisdom and what you can help give younger people about not being nervous about this, or she's always asking me, how do I get people's numbers and things like that. And I said, you're nervous about asking them for their number. Don't ask, just ask them. They're either going to give it to you or they're not. You don't have to worry about that.
We always hype our team up. Regardless if Rich is in the store or not in the store, we will always, if team members in the mattress gallery, we have Matt. We're like, okay, mattress Matt in the mattress gallery doing his thing again. We're always going to just encourage our team and hype them up, even if we're having a really a tough day.
So we have done a thing in Cary where we know each other's love language. So we have two that would like to give you things. That's just their way. And then we have one that really wants the appreciation and the recognition. It means a lot. So really just getting to know them and what encourages them and motivates them and just shows them that appreciation.
Always looking at the brighter side of things and just finding something, to be thankful for in the day, I would say, and just encouraging.
Everyone's like, thanks, you're next. It's nothing but positivity, and I love that.
Yeah, we actually, in our meeting before all of those, we test our mics, we test our headsets, we make sure everybody is clear where the GRL, that is our rotation system software where we have whoever gets there first gets their name on the list first, and then it goes based on who appears in the showroom after that.
One thing I like about my team, though, is everybody has different knowledges, and like Dan with sleep, and I'm an interior designer, so people will pull me aside to use me to help them close a sale, whereas I will do the same with other people.
We also kind of we'll crack some jokes in there and kind of make it fun because it gets a little stressful, but just calling out always whose guest is this, kind of I'm gonna bump this one, just the communication, being very clear.
When we have high pressure times, especially now in Q4, as you stated, having a team mic'd up, everyone is having on their mics, that's a non-negotiable, but also just kind of creating a space to have everyone want to communicate and communicate. So, I think it's just rooting in and leading the path. So when I'm on the mic and they see me using the mic, they tend to follow.
So we always make sure we have a game plan. With 8 people currently, it can get tough. And we just make sure we have a game plan. Do we have what we need on our computers? Do we have, draw the rooms? Do we have what we need to be successful? Do we have, the printer's good? Those little things, because those little things can turn into 5 minutes of just a waste of time.
I have one gentleman who's a master with the reclining, and he'll flip the recliner over and show them all the ins and outs with it. And I mean, it's helpful for all of us. I mean, it just helps us all grow if we all help each other.
We are a walkie-oriented team. So during the times where it's very busy in the store, we are always on the walkie. Sometimes if you have multiple guests, we're letting you know, hey, your guest is over here. Hey, your guest is looking at this, because you can't always see everyone. So we try to communicate to that teammate who maybe is with another guest, hey, we see this for you. So being their eyes when they can't be there. And I think that that's helped a lot.
It's like using each other to be able to get the guests the best experience, of course, but in and out of the store. And then that way, we're loving the one we're with and we're giving them the best experience, but we're doing it a little smarter.
So I have implemented the word connect in my personal life, mostly with self. So I've been connecting with myself more through stillness. So the stillness has allowed me to connect more with myself. And it's just been a journey of more self-discovery. People
have asked me about, how I'm getting sales and things like that. And I always talk about connection, because that's all it's about. Is our job is we have to connect with those people, know what they want and what they're looking for to help them, build their best memories in their home.
Oh, for sure. I've definitely implemented the word connect in my life this year. Like I said, I'm more outgoing. I am a go home, go to work kind of girl. So I've been suggesting and planning these team building events. So going out of my way to spend time with them outside the store, just to create some of those bonds that you need when you spend so much time with the people. So definitely incorporated that quite a bit.
So I feel like both go hand in hand. And I had the worst first, I would say 3, and honestly probably beginning of this year, disconnecting in a way from work and my personal. When I was home, I was thinking about work, or I was texting a guest because I had a quote, and I'm like, no, I have to be able to do both. I have to be able to connect with, the people in my life and give them all of me while I'm outside of work, and do the same. I can do it at work, and I have no problem leaving my outside life when I come into work, but I learned this year a little bit better on how to connect when I'm outside, when I'm home with my daughter.
I have definitely used that word connect in my personal life, just with being connected spiritually, mentally, physically, just in all of the aspects.
Connection's always going to be there, and I feel like Broad River has given us some great tools for connection, like our CXM. I also write thank you notes after each sale.
For sure. I definitely think that the word connect, at first I was like, what does that mean? But then we got the puzzle, and no one wanted to do the puzzle. And I love to do puzzles, so I was like, don't worry about it, I'll do it. And what I found out is that I just left it there, and I would come back and there'd be like 10 more pieces. And there'd be 20 more pieces. So everyone actually ended up connecting over this puzzle, even though they didn't want to do it. And so it made it a really big deal. And I was okay, we just have to make each other do things that we don't want to do. So sometimes you have to be uncomfortable. So I definitely think that I'll take that word and I will continue on, and whatever the river comes up with next year, we'll just pack it on top of that.
I would definitely bring on the word connect into next year. And mostly because connect is the root of humanity, I think. Like we need to be able to connect with each other to be empathetic and to feel our similarities, even our differences. It's all built through that.
I think you have to. I think that our entire job, regardless of it being the word of the year, is all about connecting. How do you connect with the guests? Like building those relationships is what builds those long-term relationships where a guest comes in and like, hey, is Mayra here? Hey, I'm looking for so-and-so, but I think definitely.
Yeah, I feel like when you're focusing on it, like I said, you're gonna kind of implement that kind of lifestyle. So to be very aware of the questions you're asking just becomes routine. And just the routines that you're setting up, like with me spiritually and mentally, like I've been taking on yoga, connecting with that side of my life. So I think it's becoming a lifestyle.
Sammy, I've talked about Sammy a lot. She's like a daughter to me, and she's always asking me advice, and I'll give it to her because I'm older. But she's been doing fantastic, and it just makes me feel good that she listens to what I say, and she is just, she's gonna hit the million again this year. So excited for her.
So someone I better connected with, my best friend from high school. We were best friends. That was over about 20 years ago now, and we recently reconnected. And it seems like everything that happened back then is just dissipated, and we just picked up right where we left off, and it's been a great connection now.
I would say better connected with my GM, with Rich. I would say we both have strong personalities, and I feel like learning each other, learning the why. He's also very ambitious, and very goal driven. And I think that knowing the why, some things come across a certain way, really has helped me even just talk to the team, like, hey, this is what we're trying to do. And I think it's just helped me learn him a little bit better, and also with that, taking it to the team. And it's like some things can come out a certain way, but it's not really meant that way. So we kind of have a better understanding of each other and how to bring that onto the store to help all of us in the store.
Oh, I'm pretty close to all of my teammates. I would say Leah Hayes. I've worked with her since the day I started, but it was always like we never worked together consistently. She went to go help somewhere, I went to go help somewhere. She went out for surgery, I went out for the exact same surgery. And we've gotten to really know each other. And she's such a power. So tapping into that and being like, okay, well, I see what she's doing. So we've gotten a lot closer, even though we've worked together since day one. But that's probably the person I've made like the biggest connection with in such a short time.
Broad River always finds the way to help us, to pour into us, to better, just better us, like what we do. And even just checking in on us, the way you connect and you call us when we hit the million, it's like, hey, how are you doing? Congratulations.
I love the surveys you guys put out. Fantastic. You guys are listening to us, and now we just work not a whole day on Saturday, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, Broad River has definitely connected with me. I've been working on a personal project here that's feeding my soul, and I expressed that, and Broad River was able to allow me to work my schedule to be able to not only, still make money, but also do things that bring me joy too.
You're always listening to us, which, a lot of companies, they don't even ask how you're doing, and you all are always there for us, asking how you guys can help us, with a life balance. And
So this is an interesting question, because the first thing I thought of was the engagement survey. So the results just came out from our engagement survey team, and they've made some changes, and they listened. So I felt like Broad River connected with their people.
I think being an expert or becoming an expert has really helped me connect with a lot of people in Broad River. Also, the higher people that I just see on paper and I don't know a face to a name. So being able to go to those things that Broad River's putting on for us has helped me connect on a much bigger level. Outside of just Carrie, outside of these events, being able to see who the elites are and getting to know them, and that's such a big thing.
You guys are always educating us, which is great, because that's what you need to sell.
The Sleep Connection allows me to connect better with my memory makers, because I get to be able to bounce ideas off of them, right? I get to learn things that, that I'm probably not doing in my store that they are doing.
And I love getting together and seeing people from different stores. You just don't ever see them unless we're together. And, you hear about names and what they're doing. And so it's nice to put, a face with a name.
Just learning from the best. I really enjoy having Holly and Jamar, and just like our Saturday morning meetings, like just learning from the best and taking those, because yes, we're experts. Yes, we've been doing it for a while, but you can always learn from others and take little tidbits of information and use it to our advantage. I love what, I think it was maybe Brian Johnson that said, do you want to, the VIP price or our price. And it's like the regular price or the VIP price. And I'm like, it's like, duh, it's like, I'm gonna go use that. And Carl was like, Mayra, you're smiling, but I'm like, that's something so simple, just such a simple little line that's like gonna, take it back and help us step up our VIP game and carry.
The City Connection also allows me to connect better with my education. There's more information, right? So, I get more information, I get more knowledge, and I'm able to use that and take it back to the store.
So these events are so much fun. I've known there's a lot of us that are kind of old school Broad River, so it's always good to see them, as well as meet the new faces and new people that are new hires that are coming on, and really encouraging and supporting them.
I love the summits. They help me connect with everyone in the company, really, because I get to talk to some people who have been around for 6, 7, 8 years, and they'll talk me through their process, and I'm like, man, I should try that. And let me get your number, let's talk some time. And then 2 minutes later, I'll meet someone that's been here for 2 weeks, and they're asking me that. And so I feel like I have the vets who are pouring into me, and I get to pour into them, and I wouldn't even know who these people were if it wasn't for events like today.
Just the people. It's like a family. I've worked at a lot of different places, and it's just nice coming in every day and having a good time at work. And it's really not work when you love what you're doing.
I love most about my connections here at Broad River is that they're genuine. I love that, and they're authentic. They're not forced. And I feel like that's the most important thing to me. I want to have connections that's real and not forced.
The relationships that they have built throughout the years between my coworkers, between my guests, just that repeat business, and they turn into friends sometimes. You see them out in your local area and you're like, hey, like, how are you doing? And it just, it's seeing a familiar face and having a guest come in and ask for you, it feels good. It feels good.
Oh, just the people and you've created like this environment where I'm connected with people all over Broad River. It's not just Cary or the Raleigh area. It's people in Charlotte, it's people in Spartanburg. It's everywhere.
I think they're lifelong. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. And as you know, Cary, we tend to keep everyone that comes. So I think I'll be with these people for a long time, but I also think that life happens, and some of the connections I've built, they're gonna last through the test of time.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.